I'm Matt.
I'm not so mad.
And we're the Fantastic Fictioners. That didn't quite work.
Alright, editor, edit that out.
No. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fantastic Fictioners.
The show where we take a look at fan fictions that are, less than fantastic.
Today, we'll be reading Game Grumps, Big Day Out by our friend...
Lovingtoomuchiowa. Sound familiar? This is the guy who did Arnold's Big Day.
Woo!
So, since that video, we have reached out to Lovingtoomuchiowa, and we have gotten some, less than pleasant responses from that.
To be fair, initially, it was a little rude, but I think, in the end, we're kind of acquaintances now.
I'd like to think so. Just
right.
Whatever keeps him churning out this stuff.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
I really am.
We are. Every time he posts something new, we get a little ding on our phones saying that he did it. We read it that night.
Oh, it's very satisfying.
As of this moment, his newest one is his Star Potter one. I urge you all to check it out.
Yeah, check out all of his stuff, guys. Remember, we're not going out there to attack people.
Be nice. He has gotten a lot of mean comments.
Yeah, and we would appreciate it if you guys were nice, and if you're going to do criticism, definitely do constructive criticism. We don't want anyone coming to that channel.
And don't tell him he smells like raisins. That's really mean.
Unless you like raisins, in which case, still probably
I bet he's allergic to raisins.
Maybe. You never know.
So, let's explain our history with Game Grumps.
Okay. I know a little bit about Game Grumps, and by a little bit, I mean I've seen, a few fragments of some of their longer episodes, and then I think I used to watch it a while ago, but it wasn't a lot. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I know the gist of who people are.
On the other end, I love it. So, every time there's, something like a show ending or a breakup or something, I always turn to Game Grumps. That stuff is very, very good to help remedy the spirits. I just find their chemistry really well made. Their dialogue and thing they talk about is just great. Everyone's really likable, even though I just prefer Dan and Arin themselves. Although Ross, Barry, Suzy, and all of them, they're all great. Somehow I have a feeling that they're not going to get the best of representation in this fanfiction. And by I mean this is one of my favorites that he's written. Because I'm a Game Grumps fan. And this... Let's just stop prevaricating around the bush and just get right to it. So... Because the narrator, like Arnold's Big Day, is very prominent in this story, it's very full of narration. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be playing Danny and the narrator. And I'm everybody else.
That's right, and he knows what they sound like a little bit. I'm just going to be kind of a timid man for Danny.
Even though my Ross impression is not good, I'm just going to go all the way with it. So, here we go, Game Grumps' Big Day Out by Lovingtoomuchiowa.
Woo!
Let's begin this epic drama.
Game Grumps' Big Day Out. Arin and Danny were on the couch playing Double Dragon.
How did you find this game?
Asked Arin.
You find being one word.
Arin looked at Danny in confusion and a wee bit of frustration.
Double Dragon is a classic, Danny. And
then the quote ends, so I'm assuming this is the narrator. It's not like I just found it and unearthed it, you stupid baby.
Wait, but didn't Arin say that?
Probably.
So, yeah, how did you find this game, says Arin. Arin looked at Danny in confusion and a wee bit of frustration. Double Dragon is a classic, Danny. By the way, he calls him Dan.
Whoa, sorry, said Danny.
Nah, I'm just kidding,
said Arin, laughing.
I got it at the Goodwill. Did you say Goodwill?
Asked Arin.
Yeah, he is having a multiple personality.
Yeah, he's talking to himself.
Yeah!
Said Arin.
I did. Why?
Wow, what a streel, said Danny. You can't find anything good in those stores anymore.
I don't know, said Arin. Suzy and I found this cool lapum at the Goodwill. It's shaped like a penguin. A lapum? What's a lapum?
I don't know what a lapum is.
And why would Suzy and Arin want a lapum? I don't know. It sounds like a lap dance. I don't know.
It was shaped like a penguin.
What they do in their private life is none of my business. Okay. So...
Cool, said Danny. I grew up next to one of those, and I tried to get a job there, but I got a better offer from another place, so I didn't go there.
I know what you mean, Danny. I tried to work at a penguin-shaped lapum, too. It just didn't work.
I think he means Goodwill.
No, he doesn't.
No, it's penguin-shaped lapum. Sorry.
No.
Author's vision, everyone.
Sucks.
said Arin. Did you buy the lamp? Asked Danny.
And then Arin slapped Danny and said, "No, it wasn't lap him, you stupid idiot." Nah,
said Arin.
it wa broken.
Who sells broken lamps? Asked Danny.
I guess they do for some reason. If I ran Goodwill, not capitalized, I wouldn't have let them do that.
Yeah, that's dumb, said Danny.
Oh, very dumb.
Said Arin. The two continued playing the game for a while and began and tow her round.
Arin wins,
said Arin. Is this Game Grumps versus? Asked Danny.
Of course it is,
said Arin. Okay, said Danny.
Remember when I beat you at Pac-Man and Grumps versus?
No, I won in Pac-Man, said Danny.
Okay, I'm starting to get broken already. But I just gotta say, we're like, I don't know, a fifth of the way through it and there's no
Are
story.
you sure we're a fifth of the way?
I don't know. Yeah, actually I'd say we're about a seventh. But there's no story. Is this...
We're trying to find the story.
This looks like just trying to recreate one of their sequences or things, or you know what I'm trying to say, recreate one of their episodes. Why sequences? Bad me! So, they're trying to create one of their episodes,
It's their big day out.
but they haven't left. Where are they going?
We're getting there, potentially, at some point.
Yep. Who? You did know.
Said Arin.
You just told Barry to edit that in.
Oh yeah, said Danny. I completely forgot about that. Arin rolled his eyes.
I'm gonna beat you in this game, Dan!
Said Arin. No way, you dirty cheater boy, said Danny. / You can't stop me,
I'm going to win as always.
said Arin.
You know, I don't think they're doing a very good job recreating the Grumps personalities, I'm just gonna say.
Are they this competitive? I don't remember that.
Sometimes, like, for jokes, sometimes genuine, but never to, like, this hostile. Like, when it is hostile, it's a joke, but this is, like, the way it's written is very clearly not a joke. This is getting very vicious.
They hate each other in this version, I guess.
I guess so.
In this version of reality.
Because Arin especially does a lot of joking around stuff like this, and Dan's just sometimes along for the ride, but it never gets this visceral without there very clearly being a joke, without it being super over the top.
No way, you lie, said Danny. Danny pushed a lot of buttons, but a ring kept countering all of his moves.
Oh, Arin. He's my favorite Grump.
Arin?
Yeah, Arin.
Arin? Aha, said Danny. I've got you now. He didn't. The attack missed.
Thanks for the detail. So you've got me, huh?
Asked Arin. I will now, said Danny. Suzy walked in out the room, carrying sodas. Suzy said,
Hey guys, have some soda!
So Hanks! Suzy, said Danny.
What was wrong with Danny? Was he having like a heart attack or something?
It was in caps. I'm staying true to the author's vision.
You guess Danny's having a heart attack, he's just going, Thanks! Suzy. Immediate recovery. Thanks, babe.
Said Arin. Arin slapped Suzy on the butt as she giggled and walked away.
I feel uncomfortable now.
I love being the narrator.
You get all the best lines. This is... this is weird. This is really weird.
Yes, it is.
But there are so many things we can say about that, but let's not...
Let's move on.
Let's have you guys discuss it. You guys being the comments, or anyone else that may see this. I love that woman.
Said Arin. You sure got lucky, bro, said Danny. A million men turn green when they see just who you've got in your corner.
Yeah, I guess they throw up. But there's no end of quote here, so I guess Dan just keeps talking.
Yeah. Arin looked back and smelled.
I sure did. Oh, wait, sorry. I sure did.
He said.
Man, I've got it all. This is so wonderful. My life is perfect.
And mine too, says Danny. That's all in quotes.
Don't know who said that. I'm going to guess that Ninja Brian said that.
Okay.
Mine is better, said Artigan. What do you have?
Asked Arin. Good friends in my synagogue, said Da, why. That's all I need.
What are you, Buddhist? That was not a joke from me. That was in the script.
asked Arin. For your information, I'm just going to throw this out there for the audience. A synagogue is a place where people of Jewish descent or religion gather. Generally for services. It's kind of like what a cathedral would be for Catholics or a church.
Or a glipsnip for a Rosmaf Bayi.
Sure. I think that's a thing, maybe, or it's not. I don't know.
I don't know.
You guys can try to Google that to see if he was talking about anything.
Don't Google it. It's a government secret.
Never mind. No, I'm Jewish with 2 O's. ... said Danny. They both laughed and continued their game.
I wish I was dead.
What? All of the sudden, Danny got a phone call. Hand on, I've got taught Ake this call. It's from Dad.
Sure, T equals sure.
Said Arin.
I guess Arin is like trying to become Ninja Brian, become a physicist, so he's trying to come up with all these equations. You have a long way to go, Arin.
Danny picked up the phone and Arin pretend Ed to pod the game.
Oh, I think we're getting Avi.
Hi, Avi, said Danny.
I was right!
Talking to his dad of the phone.
Wait a minute, so Avi gave birth to Dan's phone,
Yes.
and not Dan.
Of the phone.
Okay. Dan!
Said Avi.
I just want to let you know that Nintendo is cursed.
Danny was confused, and so was I. And he owed his father this. Danny knows that he calls his father by his first name, and that's okay with him. I don't know why that's in there. Avi replues.
If you play it, bad things can happen to you. Bye.
With that, Avi hung up. Well, that happened today, said Danny.
What did Avi want?
Asked Arin. Something stop it as usual, said Danny. Wait, you didn't pause, as in animal pause, the game. Arin was laughing very hard now and was rolling on the floor now because he thought the joke he played on Danny was funny. I can't believe you do this, said Danny.
Just a game, said Arin. Next time on Game Grumps.
Oh, jeez, said Danny. The episode is over already?
It sure is,
said Arin as she stopped recording.
Arin's a girl?
Apparently.
Does Suzy know this?
That was a good being one word, episode, said Danny. One of my favorites for sure. Arin tilted his head back.
It was pretty good, I suppose. Remember, Ross Ig going to help us wit a hat steam train playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club.
Clum.
But they already played Doki Doki Literature Club.
No, this is Doki Doki Literature Clum. It's different.
Oh, okay.
Whoa! He is? Asked Danny. I can't wait. Ross may be crazy, but he cool.
I guess so,
said Arin. Danny asked, aren't we doing a Grumpcade episode tomorrow? Arin leaned back in his recliner.
They're sitting on rich liners? Okay.
Rich liners, man.
I think so. I think we're going to do a playthrough of Pepsi Man on the PS1 because Ross and Jimmy told us that we would like doing it.
Oh, random capitalization. How it makes us yell.
Yes, but like I said, we have to stay true to the author's interpretation. Never stray.
That's right. Oh, Jimmu and Ross, said Danny. Those guys are crazy. I wonder how Jimmy's doing. I heard he moved away, said Danny. We should bring him back for guest Grumps, or Suzy could wrangle him back for kitty cat gammon.
Is this just an excuse to list all of the Game Grumps shows? Is this all this is here for?
I'm not sure.
Because, yeah, we're a third of the way through and there's been no story.
I mean, that's true. You're not wrong.
Oh, Danny,
said Arin.
Wait.
Ever the dreamer you are,
yeah.
says the narrator.
Yeah.
Danny cuckolded, slightly annoyed.
So
annoyed
I guess,
being one word.
so cuckold means a man whose wife is cheating on him.
Oh, that's right.
Dan is, or Danny in this, is not married. Arin is the one.
Confused am I.
Okay, this is clearly what they meant, obviously. They didn't mean to say
Right.
chuckled. I mean, if they meant to say chuckled, they would have written it.
That's true.
Up for another?
Said Arin. Of course I am, said Danny.
Hey, Dan!
Says Arin. What? Says Danny.
I've got a surprise for you for when we do the show today,
said Arin.
I thought they were already doing the show.
What's the surprise, Arin? Aksed Danny.
I can't tell you. It's a surprise,
said Arin. But I want to know, said Danny, laughing at what he said. But that wasn't forced. Arin said,
I can't tell you. It's so confidential right now. Anyway, how is your sex life?
Danny, wondering what is going to happen, is sitting there along as Arin gets up from the grump couch.
Okay, so there are so many things wrong with this. So now they're sitting on couches instead of rich liners. Danny gets up, but it's actually Arin that gets up. And of course, the grammar.
Arin, where are you going, said Dammy.
New character, obviously.
That wasn't a swear, it's 2 M's.
So this is a completely new guy. He's probably the intern. Yeah.
Arin is gone for a while. Fanny misses him.
Who's Fanny and does Suzy know about her?
That's a great question. All of the sudden, Arin comes back into the room and said,
Hey, Danny! Here we go. It's time for something big. You know, I really think that the Grumps talk like this when they're off camera. I really do.
I think so too. I like something big, said Danny. Especially my... You know...
That's the closest thing to a Grump joke that they've made. And will make. Spoiler alert.
Arin leans in, his hot stank breath wafting the air. He smells this, takes a mint, and said,
We're going to play Mario Maker today.
Danny is unimpressed. Arin sees this, period 3.
What's the matter?
Said Arin. Danny is silent.
Hello.
I asked what the matter is.
Said Arin. Nothing is Arin. Let's just go. I don't know who said that. I'm gonna assume it's Danny.
I don't even know what that means. Nothing is Arin. Let's just go.
Yeah.
No.
Said Arin.
I can tell when a thing is wrong.
Dunois confessed and said, You never let me pick the game, said Danny. We always have to do what you say.
I thought Dunois was saying this.
Arin's, with an E, not impressed.
Dan! This is not Arin, this is Arin's.
He says,
I'm in charge. This is my show first and foremost, and you should appreciate that I let you be on the show at all.
And then also, because there's no end of quote, you're just going to have to keep hearing that annoying voice because Arin's is clearly talking.
Woo! This happens all the time. Everyone, from Suzy to Barry, notice this and get this treatment, but Danny gets it the most. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with Arin? Why has all this been happening? What?
Happaping.
Happaping. Is that a dish from Panda Express? Okay. And way has it only gotten worse over time.
Yeah, I guess you're right, said Danny. Deciding to just take it like usual.
Than you for understanding the issue as it was,
said Arin.
You really are a reasonable person.
Danny smiled, as this is the only time Arin is nice to him.
I doubt that.
Danny said, So, we doing this? There's no punctuation, so I don't know what that means.
It's a good game, too,
said Arin, moving on.
We love it, and it's our most popular playthrough.
Arin puts the game in. Something does not feel right. The game began to spark and shimmer and whine.
Something's happening,
said Arin. What's happening to us? Asked Danny. All of the sudden, Ross and Suzy walk into the room.
Hey,
said Ross.
This is crazy. I wonder what's happening to them, because Ross sounds like that. Because the way Ross is depicted in this story, I'm just going to imagine he's like an Australian version of Danny DeVito's Penguin from Batman Returns. By the way, we're halfway through, and the story has just now begun.
All right, this is what you call an inciting incident, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know,
said Suzy.
But I don't like the looks of this.
Suddenly, a green hand came out of the TV and grabbed Arin and Danny all of the sudden. So Danny is Jewish, right?
Yeah, and Arin and Danny.
Oh, no.
Artist depiction seen right here.
I think that joke makes itself. Let's move on. Ross and Suzy were frecking out.
Okay.
After a while, Arin and Danny wake up inside the world of Nintendo's Mario Maker for the Wii U. Sponsor.
Oh, no!
Said Arin.
How are we going to get Holland?
You had to get to the end of the level, semicolon, comma.
Said Suzy.
You had to do it because if you die in the game, you die for real.
Did they really just use one of the Game Grumps jokes as a plot point? Okay. Okay, I'm fine.
Arin and Danny were scared. They had no idea what to do.
Next time on Game Grumps,
said Arin, joking, but it didn't, semicolon, work. Style joking around, Arin, said Danny.
This is like slowly devolving. It's like the author when writing this was having like a progressive mental breakdown as he wrote this. This has Does Bruno Mars's Gay written all over it.
They sighed a stressed sigh. Well, I guess we're gonna have to do it. We want to live a not to hurt day, said Danny. Arin nodded in agreement and said,
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
Ross turns to Suzy and said,
This is going to be the biggest Game Grumps adventure ever. Not that our friends are dying, it's just that this is going to be an adventure. Also,
the ratings are going to be so good, mate.
Yeah. Suzy nods in agreement and picks up the Wii U controller.
The quote didn't end, so. Can we move on our own, or were we being controlled? I don't know who said that. I'm going to assume it was Danny, because why not?
I think it was Arin.
Arin? Probably. Ross and Suzy begin pushing buttons on the controller. A Mario comes out and is being controlled by Ross. Sorry, they were capitalized, guys. I don't know why. Suzy's... Okay. I'm just going to spell it out, because I don't know how to say it.
Suzy's.
S-U-Y-Z apostrophe S. Controller.
Suzy's.
Dios apostrophe do anything.
I changed my mind. Suzy's is my favorite grump.
Suzy's?
Yeah.
Alright. Looks like we got a friend, Saddy Danny.
Shut up!
Said Arin.
That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was.
This is weird.
The Mario began running through the level.
This is a strange level, said Arin. No, I don't know who said that, so I'm just going to assume it was Ninja Brian.
It was all in quotes.
This happens so many times. Who's saying these things? And who's narrating these? Obviously, it's not the narrator, or it wouldn't have quotes. So maybe it's like just maybe it's like all these misspelling OCs, OC do not steal, of all these people narrating the story. I don't know.
We should come up with an OC who's just a blank. Like, he just doesn't exist.
That'd be a good place filler.
Okay. The Mario is being used to be a guide for the others as they went through these dangerous lands. However, it was proven difficult to be quite a difficult one there.
Wow, this is intense,
said Suzy.
Who made this impossible heap?
Some Suede.
That's a material, said Ross, starting to get annoyed. Ross was trying hard as he could to save Arin and Danny, but this was harder than it needed to be. So many obstacles everywhere, and then there were the Grumps themselves.
Gumps?
Jenny.
Like Game Gumps?
Jenny.
Oh, jeez.
They had to follow the Mario and make sure that they did everything that he does. We need to be careful, said Danny.
You think I don't know that?
Said Arin. Stop yelling at me, said Sanny. I don't know who Sanny is.
I guess he's Sandy Classic Sonic fan. He's the brother Sammy Classic Sonic fan.
Okay.
You can't tell me what to do, you Jew!
Whoa, said Arin.
Wow!
Audience, I would like to let you know we don't support anti-Semitism. Moving on.
Wow.
I'll beat you, said Danny.
I'll eat your...
said Arin.
We're not censoring that, by the way. It just stops there.
Yeah.
Boys, stop!
said Suzy.
You need to cooperate if you want to get out of this wretched video game world alive. Ross, how are you doing?
Ross said nothing. He was too busy focusing on what was happening. Beads of sweet were falling down Roos's 4, as in the number, head.
So I guess Roos is a Hydra.
Roos, Hydra Roos. He has 4 heads.
The stress is too much,
said Ross. Arin and Danny got running and jumping. Danny started to slip, so Arin picked him up and helped him to his feet. Another OC there. Thanks, said Sammy.
He's back.
No prob! Exclamation point, colon. I don't know who said that. Oh, it's on the next line, and there's no end to quote. Said Arin, not looking back. Despite the fact that it's clear he's not listening, he keeps talking.
Who's saying it's another one. We don't know who's saying this.
Okay, I figured it out. I think it's Danny. I mean it.
Oh, it's Sandy.
Is it Sandy?
It's Sandy.
I mean it. You've always been there for me. You're such a loyal friend, a friend indeed. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me.
No problem,
said Arin. Suzy is getting nervous. She turns to Ross and sees him sweeting more. Ross looks ready to quit what he is doing altogether.
That's it. I can't take it.
Saucy Ross.
Sassy Ross.
Sassy Ross.
So I need to do that again. That's it. I can't take it.
Sassy Ross! Exclamation point.
You're giving up?
Asked Suzy?
I am one.
There's a question mark after Suzy, so I assume not even the narrator knows what's going on at this point.
I am one. Said Ross. Ross was becoming mad and threw the controller at Suzy.
Wait, I can't do this.
Said Suzy.
I don't care. He's your husband. You go save him. Is Ross drunk? Did Ross show up to work drinking too much beer? Is that what happened?
I think so.
I feel sorry for him.
Not
right now.
Said Ross.
Right now, they're just a bunch of pixels. Until they come out of the game, they won't be anything else. You think you can do it? Then go on and do it. See if I care.
With that, Ross stormed out of the grump room. Danny looks up and says, Suzy, what's happening?
Ross quit, but I think I can give it a try and help you guys out, okay? So what do these buttons do, ya bush? You make Mario do the stuff.
We're doomed,
said Arin.
Arin said it best.
Yeah, he did. Dude, that's your wife, said Danny.
I know, I'm sorry. We're doing the best we can, but it's not enough. Don't know who said that.
Suzy accidentally let the Mario die by having it fall off the cliff. Now, the game Grumps were left without a guide, stranded. The game Grumps feel so scared.
What's a grum?
What is a Grum?
I think it's like some kind of like scrappy hobo who is really hungry.
I think they started a new segment of the show.
I love it. Hey, I'm Grum.
I'm not so Grum. And we're the game Grumps. What's a Grum?
I want a sandwich. What are we going to do?
Asked Arin. I love you, said Danny. End of quote, exclamation point. Arin and Suzy look at Danny. Or to Suzy, the pixel representation of Danny.
What?
They both say, completely surprised by what Danny said. I always have, said Danny. What the? That's why I wanted to be part of the Game Grumps in the first place. To be closer to you, one. I love you so much and always will. You're so sweet and handsome. I never want to be without you.
He's talking to the guy who's apparently never been nice to him in this canon, even ignoring real life events. This is an abusive guy, as we've seen.
This is messed up, man. Arin looks on in shock. Has his best friend all this time felt these things for him when he knew him?
Danny,
said Arin.
I'm flattered.
Danny said, really? I don't smell anything.
You stole that from SpongeBob,
said Suzy. Arin continues.
I'm flattered and I love you too. I always have as well.
Suzy was horrified, and so was I. As the two of them turned to face her.
Why would you do this to me?
Said Suzy.
I'm sorry, Suzy. This is a different spelling of Suzy, so this is like Suzy's twin sister, which she actually does have in real life, but her name is not actually Suzy. But let's just say this is her triplet sister. So
said Arin.
This is a completely different person, so maybe there's another Suzy that's a clone of Suzy in the room, and he turns to that one. Dan's my man. I know that he's the one for E.
Period.
Yeah, I think E and Dan would be a great couple. I never want to be without him ever. Well, can we just quit?
I want to. Suzy was mad and left, throwing the controller into the wall. Man, that's intense. Arin and Danny were doomed. What is Arin? Who knows? We can't let this stop us, said Danny. We need to keep our spirits up and keep moving forward, or else we're going to be doomed.
It's still going.
Oh. The two of them look around the stage for a way out.
By the way, Dan is still saying
and
this,
thinking
according
about
to the author.
the idea, they look up at the timer, and see that they have 72 seconds left, and these are Mario seconds. So that means they go way faster than they should. They know what they have at toe. Get to the end and fat it. Game Grumps away! Said Danny! Exclamation point!
So, they did this again. Again, I think this is another show. Along with Grump, Kate, and Steam Train, you're going to see, hey, I'm Gump.
I'm not so Gump.
And
we're the Game Grumps. Life is like a box of chocolates. Ding!
I'd watch that. Let's see if you can keep up with he.
Said Arin. But something happened. The level began to glitch.
We're facing a big Mario Maker glitch,
said Arin. What are we going to do? Aid Danny! Sorry, it was all caps, guys. They were attacked by the glitch, but looked up and saw the clock was no longer moving. So at least they were not running out of time while they were in pain, because in the time out of time, they would all surely die forever.
This is art. This is true art. Hang this up in the Louvre. Please, I beg of you.
We need to fight this, said Danny. Danny pulled out his handy-dandy pocket knife and began cutting the glitch. It didn't stand a chance against them. Sorry, that was all caps.
Quickly,
said Arin.
To the finish line.
Sorry, it was caps, guys. Arin and Danny run through the stage, killing the enemies and matering the surroundings.
Turn them into mater. Oh, no.
Tomater. Like a tomato, but without, or with the, I don't know.
Ooh.
Finally, they get close to the end.
Ooh.
How much time do we have left, Arin? Said Danny, starting to be worried. He would be sweeting if his glands worked.
That's a weird thing to put in. We only have 12 seconds.
I thought the timer stopped. Said Arin.
Come on, there's no time to waste. We need to grab the flagpole.
They sprint and grab the pole with only 1 second remaining. And sure enough, they grabbed by the big hand. What? They were grabbed by the big hand and thrown out of the TV and back into the real, fishing reel, world.
I can't believe it,
said Arin.
We actually survived this. I don't believe it. I never thought that was possible. Are we having collective strokes? Is that what's happening?
It's a possibility. I'm just so happy we didn't get sucked into battle, kid, said Danny. Arin glared at Danny.
I don't want you to ever say that name because it makes me mad.
After that day, the Nenevi saw Suzy again because she was too mad at Arin and moved to, you guessed it, Iowa. Alright, I paused enough for applause. Ross and the now couple Grumps. Couple Grumps?
Okay, another show. Let's do it again.
Hey, I'm Grumps. I'm not so Grump. And we're the Game Grumps. Grab a dictionary for the love of all that is good and holy. I mean, come on. Sorry, Danny. Danny got a little upset. Remained great friends. I know that things seemed hard there, but it shows that in the end, love always prevails. As you can tell, Danny and Arin always felt things for each other this whole time. But now that Suzy's gone, and that Donnie was courageous enough to come out of the closet, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Donatello, they were able to live happily ever after. Oh, dude, he did one.
Okay. Hey, I'm Grump.
I'm not so Grump. And we're the couple Grump.
That's not even clever.
The end. Remember, only good comments, no hate.
Okay, hang on. Ah! Okay, I'm good.
Do you have a paper bag I can breathe into?
I have a plastic bag. Let me.
No, I don't think that's good enough.
I just need. I don't know what I need. I just need.
This story needs critique.
trauma center, the critique.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Where should we start? Where should we cut into the crap?
Scalpel. All right. Grammar. We always have to talk about grammar. And let me say, this is maybe one of the biggest examples of that. There are so many things that are randomly capitalized, so many things that are in quotes with no character. There are so many times where quotes don't end, and there's random capitalization in the middle of the word, and then it ends. When we were just yelling randomly, that's because it was in the story. I don't know what was going on. Like, holy cow. Anyway.
Yeah, and the many OCs that were probably intentionally author's interpretation put in here, it made it hard to understand. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it made it funny, but it was hard to understand. I have no idea what was happening. Speaking of what was happening, the pacing was abhorrent in this. Like I said, we never attack the premise. And the premise, again, is admittedly fine.
Yeah.
The Game Grumps getting sucked into a video game and they have to play it that way. That's fine. But the story happens halfway through, so by the time we actually get to the story, it doesn't feel like anything because it's just so rushed.
Right.
It just only came in halfway through, and it doesn't feel like there's any sort of stakes or anything.
And I feel kind of bad because you guys are going to have to sit through 15, 20 minutes of nothingness. That's just, that's rough.
And the closest we get to even foreshadowing this is Avi going, it's cursed, bye. Yeah, and, oh boy. And
it was at very best inconsistent.
Speaking of inconsistent, that's our next point. This writing is inconsistent. Sometimes Dan and Arin are friends, sometimes they hate each other, sometimes
They
Aaron's
love each other.
Yeah, sometimes they love each other, sometimes Aaron's abusive, sometimes Ross is a good person, sometimes he's overly critical of the world around him. Barry, despite being mentioned, never shows up. Suzy is just... Okay, Avi and Suzy are the only consistent characters. Avi because he only has like 2 lines, and Suzy because she's just a sexist stereotype. She's just there to be arm candy for Arin, or his beard, I suppose. But
yeah, she
again,
is his beard in this
inconsistent because there's no foreshadowing to any of this.
Right.
But Suzy is like the most stereotypical girl I've seen in a fanfiction, and she's not like that in real life either.
No.
And I guess that leads us to another point: the characters.
When you're representing real people, and you had said this multiple times throughout, they were not like the Game Grumps. I mean, some of the things were maybe a little bit, but when you're representing real people who are still alive...
Sorry, that's just me pounding.
He's just pounding his head. When you're representing people who are still alive, in my opinion, it's slightly disrespectful to do things all over the board with them and not represent them clearly.
I mean, it'd be one thing if they tried to, like, over-exaggerate Aaron's hyperbolic activity or Dan's cool and calm nature.
Right.
But they didn't capture any of their personalities. They were just, like, frat boys. And I know they can act like frat boys sometimes, but that's not who they actually are. Suzy's just a stereotypical girl. Ross is just nothing. And then Avi is the only thing close to similar. But the thing is, the characters are really inconsistent. If you're supposedly writing, as the description puts it, as it's the only Game Grumps fanfics, it's easily the best, not much competition, then you need to make sure you actually put work into adapting the characters in source material.
Right.
This is what we got on Ransom so hard for adapting Crime and Punishment and turning it into an 80s cop thriller.
Yeah, it's really important to portray things correctly. Unless you make it clear that you're going in a different direction with the characters or people, and with people who are still alive
and still active,
it's kind of a slippery slope.
Especially the way they did this. This is not a very flattering portrayal.
Yeah, and I don't think they would really appreciate being told they were actually in love with each other.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have done that before, and I'm sure they
Right.
like the fan fictions and stuff, but I think that even they would admit this is not very good.
Yeah, you know.
The final problem, this whole thing is just unclear as to what's happening.
And that was obvious. I think it might
What
have
is
been
the
pretty
curse? Who made this? How do they know that they're going to get out if they finish the level? What does the level look like? All these things.
Why did Avi know?
Yeah, all these things. We don't know any of it because it's just not explained. If you didn't devote the first half of this excellent world building, you probably would have been able to fit some story and foreshadowing, and it wouldn't have been so bad. I mean, the grammar still would have been atrocious, but at least you would have had something.
Right.
I mean, this is gonna be a lot when I say this, but I think his first work, Arnold's Big Day, was actually better than this.
I think they're very similar.
How?
I would just like to point out that Big Day is in both of them. And at the end of the story, a person comes out to another pre-established character.
That's true, and there was no foreshadowing to it at all. There was
one character knew something preemptively for no reason.
And there was a beard character in there. And violent confrontation. And the funny thing is, these are just two isolated circumstances. All of his others, like the Batman Shadow Knight series, To Kill a Family, Dark Side of the Gandalf, none of these are like this, right?
No, none of his other works are anything like that.
It's just these two, none of the others. I mean, he's got some other great ones like VeggieTales Adventures of Friendships Past, Gravity Falls, The Legend Reborn, and like I said, The Dark Side of the Gandalf, but that's supposed to be Gandalf. But
I wonder if he accidentally ran out of ideas.
And then mysteriously got more.
Yeah, maybe he just
know.
had a moment of weakness.
So, final thoughts on Game Grumps' Big Day Out. Oh, another thing, why is it called Big Day Out?
I don't know, they never leave the room, actually, technically. They're in a TV.
Maybe it's Big Day Out of reality, but that doesn't... So, final thoughts?
I thought that it was very hard to understand. I had fun with it, though. Yeah,
and even though this was, like, grammarly speaking, a downgrade from Arnold's Big Day, it was still amazing. I love it.
Right.
Like I said, Lovingtoomuchiowa, just keep doing what you're doing.
Please do. Like, we absolutely love your stuff.
But if you are going to take our advice, which is also recommended...
That would be epic.
That'd be great. Just... I know you try to churn out like 2 a week. That's fine. That's actually really good. You're keeping your fan base up and having a lot of stuff going.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of dedication, which you very clearly have.
Yeah.
However, you might want to run it by somebody first, just in case.
Yeah, run it by somebody, throw it through a grammar program.
No writer is perfect. I myself, when I write stuff, I need at least 2 people to look over it. And
right.
That's not a bad thing. That's something every writer needs.
And there's nothing wrong with getting editing help. It's just important to understand when people are really trying to help you and when people are just being mean for no reason. I know in some of his comments that we've read for some of his other fan fictions, people are just being flat out mean to him.
Yeah, there's some downright horrible things people have said about him.
I don't appreciate that because I understand that it's the internet and these aren't exactly writing caviar or anything, but I don't think that you should criticize someone in a manner like that by saying, like they're stupid or whatever you're going to say about this kind of person over the internet, especially because, you don't know how he's going to take it,
By the way, we may or may not keep going to this. We're going to see how we feel. Probably. I mean, let's just face it. There's a treasure trove of things we can do.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do them like all in a row, and we're certainly not going to do every single one. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. So, you want to talk about the...
Yes.
Giving it to the Grumps? I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So...
And we'll edit that part out.
Yeah. We were thinking of getting this video to the Game Grumps. I thought that maybe they would have a lot of fun with that, and I brought that up to you, and you were like, yeah, I think so, right? You were kind of thinking,
I mean, don't post it in their comments, because that'll just be marked as spam, but it'd be pretty cool if they could somehow see this, because I think they'd enjoy this. I mean, this is, like I said, it's got Bruno Mars is gay written all over it.
So, if you guys have any idea of how to contact them or to send this to them, please private message us on fanfiction.net so we can get the word out to them and just see if they can have a little fun with this and hopefully maybe do a video.
Or PM us on YouTube. Please don't put up a picture for that. And let us know. Alright guys, thanks for watching this incredibly long one. I promise next week's is going to be very, very short in comparison to this.
Yeah. And we will see you next time on Fantastic Fictioners.
Put it both ways before you're crossing a banana.
That doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up!